Hey everyone, Riyad from Right Home Realty.
Hello everyone, Will Ellis from Right Home Realty.
I'm Ken Sylvan from Be Elite.
Thank you, Ken, for joining us. Here is question number one. Describe your business and what makes you stand out.
Well, I'd say in our business, we focus on something called stress-reduced fat loss. Okay? And that's finding solutions to different stressors, okay, that people have. It could be digestive, sleep-related, hormonal, gut-related. And then, through an assessment, we will provide solutions. So solutions using nutrition, lifestyle, movement, supplements, okay? So I find most businesses that are in fitness, when we started, people were just doing training. But they weren't looking at, why aren't people getting results? Like, what is that X factor? They're eating well, supposedly. They're training well, supposedly. What's that X factor? And when we ran businesses, all my business partners, we ran fitness clubs in the health center together. And we started seeing, man, some clients have great results. And they have the same trainer and other ones don't. And we said, could stress be the thing?
Yeah.
And stressors are different things, like I said. They're hormonal, digestive, electronic, everything else. So we started focusing on that. And that's where we started finding to make better solutions for clients, as opposed to everyone gets a similar product. You may be different. You may need this to sleep. You may need this to sleep. You may need this to digest. You may need this to digest. So that's what started changing our business and making it very individualized, but looking at a broader spectrum of things, especially hormones being one of them.
So do you change the workout based on that, or just strictly like hormone, like supplements and diet?
I would say the crux of our business is nutrition based.
Okay.
So it's how you're eating, how you're sleeping. What's your hormonal profile? You know, like is estrogen off? Is testosterone off? What's going on in your business? What's going on in your business, your body, which is your business.
Which is your business.
Which is your business, right? And then, like I said, manipulating those different things and trying to get the system to heal, because we found when the body heals, we get cosmetic side effects.
Wow.
Right? So as opposed to pushing the body, and then once you stop pushing it, it goes back because you didn't fix anything.
True.
You know, so.
When you said electronic stress, what does that mean?
So you don't see a lot of people like,
Okay.
let me put this here, and like, they're sleeping with it under here, and they get up and they do this, like, see, their room's underneath the Wi-Fi. I remember my eldest daughter, for years, had trouble sleeping.
Right.
And one day I realized her room's always been over the Wi-Fi.
Wow.
So then I shut the Wi-Fi off, and all of a sudden I didn't say anything to her, and then a month later I go, how's your sleeping? She goes, Daddy, I'm sleeping through the night now, I'm not staying up as late. We used to be on her about staying up late, but from a child, her room was over Wi-Fi all the time. So it disrupted her brain, so it kept her brain on. So little things like that. And if you're not sleeping, you're aging.
Wow.
Right? So.
Interesting, actually.
Yeah.
That's because I wrote down, you said electronic, and then I guess overall life stress also impacts your ability to lose fat.
Yeah, for sure, right? Because like the water we drink, if we're drinking stuff where our body has to fight hard to pull chemicals, that's a stress on the body.
Right.
Right? So any stressors doesn't always have to be like, my mind, but it could be like, like I said, digestion. If I'm eating food that isn't real, that's a stress on my body, right? So.
Wow. Okay. That's great.
So question number 2, where are you originally from, and what's your story? How did you get here?
My parents. No. Well, let's see. Originally, you mean like from the area? Well, I'm born in, like Scarborough, so I'm a Scarborough guy. For me, I grew up reading my parents' psychology books in the basement. Both my parents were nurses from Trinidad. My dad ran the nursing program. That's how I met my mom, who's a nurse. He left, came here. So that's how I started growing up reading these things. I did neuroscience at U of T. That's kind of where I started. I wanted to go into Cairo. I got it in the States, couldn't get my loan because it's a little bit more expensive than here. So I was like, man, I never thought I wouldn't have the money. I just thought I wouldn't get in. So I started a gym that I was working at. I said, hey, why don't you come, work here? I'm like, I don't want to be a trainer. I have no desire for that. I'm talking about. But then I was like, okay, maybe I'll do this so I can make some money, defer my acceptance, get some money, and maybe I can make it across and go do it. And then I started, excelling in the company. And then right when I was about to quit, they promoted me. And then I started running health centers. So which means I was teaching 40, 50, 60 trainers, 10 consultants, 2 managers.
How old are you at this point?
I was in my early 20s. I was
Wow.
23, 24, 25, 26, right?
Wow.
So 27, all through there. So, at that age, you're generating $300,000, $400,000 a month in revenue, learning how to do that. Bought my first house at 25, 26. Things were going great, met my wife, kids, all that stuff. And then, the business started changing. It started changing. we were pretty much purchased by a capital company. And from then on, it was more about sales numbers. We bought Bally's, we exploded, but then the business changed. We had people getting promoted who weren't ready. They're trying to cut back on your bonuses. So I decided to step out, and two of my managers that I knew in the company left as well. And that's my business partner Bart and my other one James. We started this, and it was tough. Along the way, I had some health struggles. So I used to be the guy that could eat McDonald's and this and and hey everybody, look,
those were the days, right?
40 Reese's Pieces, you know what I mean? 30 gumballs a night, I'm shredded, whatever. And then when you leave and I started my own business, stress started happening. My system just broke one day. I remember like bad rashes, everything. I always had eczema my whole life, but it went nuts. I couldn't eat anything. My body started reacting. And it put me on a path to understand what's going on.
Are you saying that's stress related, or is that just cultural, like being black, or what?
No, it was something that was always there. I always knew, but I'd suppressed it using creams, cortisone, all those things. And then as I started having more stress, my system started to show it more plainly in sight. Like now when I'd eat potatoes, I'd react. I'd eat this, I'd react. And before I knew it was there, but it wasn't as bad. So stress broke my system. My gut, I think, got a lot more leaky. And that's when I started saying, why is my body doing this? No one was understanding it. Yeah. Doctors were saying, I don't know. They were whispering in front of me, what's wrong with this guy? And that scared me. That scared me. I was like, they don't know what's going on with me. I appreciate them. They gave me antibiotics because at one point I had no skin on my face. My face was bandaged. I was in the hospital walking with a hood. And I was like, I need to figure this out.
Wow.
So that started my journey to learn about holistic health and say, how do I get my system to heal? Because I don't want to be on antibiotics, pumps in my system and all these things. And that's how we started our business, to start studying with different masters and coaches, Charles Poliquin, Paul Chek, Qigong medicine, shamanic healing, all these different ways to get the body to heal. And we created our stress reduced fat loss system. And that's how we got in our business, starting to help people. And I remember people telling us, your business is kind of weird, man. Like, no one talks hormones, bro. Like, just do some burpees, do some stuff. And it was like, no, we're going to keep doing this. But it didn't work well in the beginning. But once we got then our branding out and everything else, our business started to take off. And I have to say, I have to be thankful for social media. Yeah, social media saved our business.
So what motivates you each and every day? I think you sort of answered that already, but what does motivate you each day?
Everyone's going to say the family, obviously my wife, my kids, because that's important, that drives you. But
of course,
what motivates me is I want people to know they can heal. I was misdiagnosed younger. I have so many people come in who are told they can't, you're going to be on this for life. You're going to be like this forever, and I want them to know that's not true. Anyone can heal. It doesn't matter what you're going through. If you give the body what it needs, it will repair, it'll do what it needs to do, and you do not need to feel that way. And I want as many people to know this, growing up, younger, everything else, so we don't have to go through all this stuff. Like I tell my kids, I gave you 30 years ahead. I taught you guys all about why your body's doing what it is, the acne, the periods, the cycles of this, all those things, the burping. I told you how to fix it. You're ahead now. And I want as many families growing up to go, young kids, whatever, teach them the right things. Help these families. Help them teach their kids so their kids aren't growing up with anxiety, depression, all these things.
So what are families doing, in your opinion, that is wrong? That is, especially coming out of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. What do you recommend we should do to sort of minimize or support their mental health?
I think the biggest thing, number one, is sleep. We do not sleep great as a nation. I said, we don't take it seriously. And as soon as these things came out, cell phones.
I'm guilty.
Yeah, me too. I said, but we grew up with alarm clocks with that little flippy thing that flipped up and made a little sound that came on, the radio came on.
Those days.
And that's what it was. So if we made sleep a priority,
right,
bringing electronics down at night, turning off our Wi-Fi, when I gave my kids were younger, I give them magnesium, rub it on their feet. Little things to help our system calm down. Most of our problems would be mitigated. Our immune system would go up, our digestion would improve, our mental health would be better, we would feel better, more energized, we'd need less coffee just by getting great sleep. I think that's step one if we want to simplify it, is let's focus on that. Number two, let's eat real food.
Yeah.
Eat real food like our parents cooked and did whatever. Let's just try to cook and make our own food and make time for our bodies, as opposed to being like, man, I'm so busy, I don't have time to brush my teeth, wash my face, but I'm making millions. I'm like, that's silliness.
I know that, yeah.
You get it on my doorstep.
Because at the end of the day, really, if you're not healthy, you're not happy.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So that's my motivation, is to get as many people knowing that, so they don't feel hopeless. I can't stand when people feel, because I felt like that. I'm like, man, I'm a freak. I don't know what's wrong with me. And no one needs to feel that way. So.
That's great.
Okay, question number 4. What's your favorite local business?
I thought about this. I was like, what's my favorite local business? I'm going to say I love Farm Boy. I love Farm Boy. I know it sounds silly, but you know what? I like their service. I like how they treated people during this whole COVID or pandemic, whatever you want to call it. I like how they treated the whole environment. I still felt going in there happy. I felt normal. I didn't feel odd. I didn't feel like in a military zone. And a lot of businesses, you felt military. Doors locked, this, there, looking out, scanning your head, doing all. Like, I just want to get some groceries, bro, and not have anxiety going in there, worrying about is my mask off the corner? Is this there? Is my lip out? I'm freaking out. I'm like, it made me not want to go out.
Right.
And going there, I was like, it's my comfort place. Manager says, hey, Ken, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, just great service and everything. If your nose is down, no one's like, hey, sir. No one's freaking out. It's just like, oh, I remember I put it back. Everyone's just cool. And I really appreciated that from going in there, and just the service, how they treat people. I love going there. It's a great place.
So before COVID, what was your favorite business?
You know what? That's a good one. If I stick to grocery stores, I was going to Superstore a lot. I was splitting my time. I was like double dating. I was going to Superstore and then across the street to Farm Boy. And I was going half and half. And this pushed me all the way over based on how they treated me.
Wow.
I was like, I'm not lining up with 400 people outside getting my head scanned. I'm like, I'm not doing that. So that pushed me over to Farm Boy, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to stay here. That's where I'm going to be. I told the manager, thank you for how you've been. I'm going to keep coming here. Even when this is over, I'm still only coming here. So.
Wow.
That's amazing. Now, with the pandemic, has your business changed at all?
We were fortunate, like in 2018-19, our sector of the business, the nutrition side went online. My business partner, Bart, and I, who had the nutrition side, we decided that clients were getting better results. They were more compliant. I'm like, so why are we doing in-person nutrition if for some reason online clients are more consistent, better results, it's more affordable for them? I'm like, it's a no-brainer. So we went that way reluctantly. So by the time the pandemic came, our business was fully thriving, running, and we actually created another business right before the pandemic called the Transformation Mentorship. We have 2 other business partners besides Bart and I, Sarah Fennell and Joe Arco, and that's where we teach trainers, nutritionists, and certify them in our stress-reduced fat loss system. So Now we run that business, and that helped them because trainers were suffering. They're still suffering.
Right, there.
Because they didn't know how to get results without being in person.
Yeah.
So we wanted to teach that system. So both businesses actually went up because people needed it, right? So we were very fortunate.
So you actually thrived.
I did.
Interesting.
I think we were here to help people.
Yeah.
So that's why we were, I think, taken care of.
I think that mentality, because it's the reality of business is that you are here to help, and as long as you have very smartly went online, and most people that are in business for themselves don't think that way. Don't think about that they're here to help. They want to make money, but if you think about the way you think, you'll succeed in any kind of environment. So that's great.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Oh, I have one more question. What's one of the biggest surprises while owning your own business?
This is a tough one. I think one of the biggest surprises is that no one understands your business or what you're going through.
100%.
And that the biggest obstacle of any business is relative obscurity. It's just not being known. It's like, I'm like, man, we're good. I know we're good. Because when we help people, they get results, but no one knows who we are.
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest lesson. I go, you don't have to be the smartest, get the most results, whatever, but you do have to have a business that runs. And if you don't have the systems plugged and everything running properly, your business will go nowhere. You can be the smartest person on the planet. Mm-hmm. There are people far less intelligent doing far greater. So it's like, we need to be known so people can know where to get us.
Right.
And I think that was the biggest thing I was surprised. I was like, wow, okay. As long as people know us, our business took off. That's why social media saves us.
So who does your social media?
We did for years.
Right.
We did, actually, our business partners now were our previous business coaches. So Sarah Fell and Joe Arco, we went to them seeking, like, we need a business coach. We kept going to business coaches who didn't know what they were doing, and they did finally.
Right.
And that helped our business our social media game go up, but also how we believed in ourselves, speaking like experts.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're an expert, you call yourself an expert in industry, people will turn and look at you. Okay, well, hey, they'll think about you.
Right.
And then after you become the expert in industry, go, hey, by the way, do you do this too? Do you do like commercial stuff too? They'll start thinking you could be an expert in something else. And that's the biggest thing they taught us is be an expert. Stop talking like you're like in the corners.
Right.
So
Speak from a place of confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
so
That's
that
great.
was good for us.
I'm learning from my business too.
Yeah. That's great. Any other questions?
We're good. We're good.
Well, thank you, Ken.
Pleasure, guys.
Much
It was
appreciated.
pleasure.
I love, you know what I love? I love, you know, when people that are black or ethnic go out there and educate people on their health. Because I think it's so important. And I think also, look at myself, I'm not the healthiest. But seeing your passion motivates someone like myself to maybe rethink my whole stance on, becoming healthy. And I think that's the key.
That. I appreciate
There,
it. Thank you.
you did your business right here.
But there you go.
There you go. Well, thanks, guys. You know what? It was fun talking to you guys. I could have sat here all day. I could do this every day. Just this is my business. We have a round table every week. I love that. So.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.